Former friend who called me a bad influence for being child-free just demanded today that I take in his family plus 3 kids into my home. I rejected them, and this happened. So, let me set the stage. My name is Gethin, a 32-year-old software engineer living in a comfortable 2-bedroom apartment in Cardiff. Life's been good since I decided to go child-free, focus on my career, and indulge in my hobbies. It's been peaceful, productive, and most importantly, drama-free. Or so I thought. One of my old friends from university, Tegid, had always been vocal about his life choices. He married young, started a family, and now has 3 kids. While I respect that, it's not for me. Tegid, however, has made it clear that he thinks my child-free lifestyle is selfish and immature. He's even called me a bad influence on more than one occasion. Our friendship took a hit because of his constant nagging, and we gradually drifted apart. No biggie, right? People change, paths diverge. Fast forward to today, out of the blue, Tegid calls me. I hadn't heard from him in months, so I was a bit surprised. He starts with some small talk, asking how I'm doing and whatnot, but then he drops the bombshell. Apparently, Tegid and his wife Unwin are in some deep shit. They're being evicted, have no savings, and need a place to stay. Not just them, but their 3 rambunctious kids too. I was stunned. This guy, who never missed a chance to lecture me about my life choices, now wants to crash at my place with his entire brood? I politely declined, saying my apartment isn't suitable for 5 extra people, especially kids. Tegid didn't take it well. He went off, calling me heartless and selfish, throwing every guilt trip in the book at me. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Wrong. Tegid is nothing if not persistent. The next day, I wake up to a barrage of angry texts and missed calls, not just from him, but from mutual friends and even family. Turns out, Tegid's been telling everyone that I heartlessly turned away a family in need. I tried to explain my side, but it was like talking to a brick wall. People were more interested in playing the sympathy card for Tegid. It was infuriating. My own sister, Ellery, called me up to berate me. "How could you turn them away? They're your friends," she said. "Friends?" I scoffed. "You mean the guy who calls me a bad influence every chance he gets?" Ellery wasn't having it. "You're being unreasonable, Gethin. It's just for a few weeks until they get back on their feet." "A few weeks?" I replied. "With 3 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment? Are you out of your mind?" The argument escalated, and we ended up not speaking. Great. Now my family's pissed at me too. By now, Tegid had rallied quite the army against me. Even our old university mates were taking his side. It felt like I was back in school, being ganged up on. It was absurd. I decided it was time to confront Tegid and set things straight. I called him and asked to meet up at our old local pub. When I arrived, he was already there, looking like the cat who got the cream. I didn't waste time. "Tegid, what the hell, man? You've turned everyone against me." He had the audacity to look surprised. "I didn't turn anyone against you. They just see the truth." "Bullshit. You've painted me as some sort of villain, all because I won't let you and your family of 5 invade my space." "We're desperate, Gethin. We have nowhere else to go." I sighed, trying to keep my cool. "I get that, but this isn't my problem to solve. You've got 3 kids, man. How did you let things get this bad?" He looked genuinely hurt, but I couldn't muster much sympathy. This guy had criticized me for years and now wanted me to bail him out. "It's complicated," he said. "Work's been tough, and Unwin's health hasn't been great." I softened a bit. "Look, Tegid, I'm sorry you're going through this, but my place isn't suitable for you guys. Have you tried other options? Family, other friends?" He shook his head. "No one else can help. You're our last hope." Against my better judgment, I made an offer. "Okay, look, I can help you find a temporary place, maybe even chip in for the rent for a month or 2, but you can't stay with me." Tegid's eyes lit up. "You'd do that?" "Yes, but there are conditions. You need to start working on getting back on your feet. No more handouts after that." He agreed, looking more relieved than I'd ever seen him. We shook on it, and I felt a bit better. Maybe this would work out. But, of course, it didn't. A week later, Tegid called again. The place I found for them was too small, too far from the kids' school. To this, to that. I was at my wit's end. Every suggestion I made was met with a new excuse. Eventually, I had to put my foot down. I told Tegid that I couldn't help him anymore. He was furious, and this time the fallout was nuclear. He and his family ended up in a shelter, and he made sure everyone knew it was because I refused to help. The backlash was brutal. I lost friends over this. My family was disappointed in me. Even colleagues at work looked at me differently. But you know what? I don't regret it. Sometimes you have to stand your ground, even if it means being the bad guy in someone else's story. Tegid made his choices, and he had to face the consequences. I wasn't about to let him drag me down with him. So here I am, nursing a pint in the same pub where it all started, wondering if I did the right thing. Maybe I could have handled it better, maybe not. But one thing's for sure, I'm not letting anyone guilt-trip me into sacrificing my peace of mind. Not anymore.